Please come.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. You're Swati Sharma.
Yes, sir.
Please take a seat. Medium of interview is English.
Yes, sir.
Could you give us a brief introduction, Swati?
Sir, my name is Swati Sharma. I have done graduation in political science. So my optional is also political science and international relations. I am from army background, and presently I live in Jamshedpur, Jharkhand.
When is your interview?
So 15th of January.
Oh, not much time left. Right?
Optional is also this.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And how many attempts?
So this will be my third attempt and first interview.
Right. Hope panelists will take it.
What is your view on one nation, one language?
So India is a country of rich diversity, multilingual or multi-religious. So however, one nation, one language can have its own concerns. However, so it would bring a sort of uniformity when we talk about different issues that erupt in matters of language. But the steps should be taken where we take into consideration the concerns of the minority language speaking people, especially the South Indian community that we have.
Medium is Hindi.
No, sir, English.
Mother
tongue. What are the concerns of South Indians about one nation, one language?
Sir, in South India, from their primary education, they are more accustomed to their vernacular language. So, sir, that is one of the concerns which I can think of right now.
Okay. Why not English?
Sir, I think the policy of the states, it is because of that.
See, why
So-
not English be the link language for the entire country?
Sir, as I mentioned, sir, India is a diverse country. English is a foreign language after all. Hindi is Indian. In India, there are more people who speak Hindi and other vernacular languages. So I think, sir, English can be a problem if we link it as only one language using English.
You're from army background.
Yes, sir.
Why there was a lot of hullabaloo about women joining NDA, and there was no problem when they joined OTA at Chennai, which has been going on for last 15-20 years. But NDA they joined a couple of years ago. Why there was outcry? Why should?
Sir, as of my knowledge is concerned, I think, sir, the problems and issues that people thought would be regarding the physical caliber of women. They thought that women might not be able to comprehend the tough training that men has to go through in India. So with the time, women have shown their caliber and now they're allowed.
But the training was equally tough as the.
So sorry, sir, then I may not have known on that matter that much.
And recently, the certain ladies have been promoted to the rank of full colonel, but they have not been given command of the units. Why? Why should they not be given command?
Sir, in my opinion, there should not be any reason why women should not be given command. So, because when women come into any background, any other profession, there is a coming of diversity with them. So, I think there can be a better handling of problems when women enter with respect to the issues that currently our command might be
Better
facing.
handling of problems. How?
So, the problems which, for example, the issues with connecting with civilians and all, as
Civilian
women.
infantry battalion, for example, consists of all men.
Yes, sir.
So, if a woman is given command, what are the likely problems?
Sir, it is generally said that there is a resistance among male members to take commands from women. So I think that can be a challenge, but so when women are given command positions, I think so they can handle issues better.
Okay. You have mentioned somewhere best out of waste.
Yes, sir.
What is that?
So during my college years, I participated in the campaign, Best Out of Waste campaign, where we used the resources that we have at college. Further, we raised awareness in the people of Jamshedpur to use waste in a resourceful manner.
Any particular example? What did you make, or how did you dispose of the waste?
So we encouraged people to use less of plastic, firstly. So secondly, e-waste is a problem in Jamshedpur and with growing the Gen Z and all. So those are the two areas where we focused.
Okay. Demographic dividend versus demographic disaster. What stage are we in, India?
Sir, I think India is in the stage of demographic dividend. So there are certain challenges which can lead to a disaster. But sir, with the steps taken by the government, for example, skill development, focus on education, health, so this can definitely bring about the demographic dividend.
But with almost 8% unemployment rate, do you think this is a demographic dividend?
So unemployment is a challenge in India, but so that challenge can be handled. So
How?
with innovation and startup culture going in our country,
But most of the startups are failing. Only a small percentage succeeds.
so but with that small percentage, I think so self-employment and self-employment generation can work for India. If not in short term, so in longer perspective it will.
If supposing you are a district magistrate of a particular city,
Yes.
town, and which has a lot of cases of dowry related crime, how will you resolve this issue? How will you make people give up the bad system of dowry?
So dowry is an issue which is present in India from a very long time. Sir, I think there is a set mental construct in minds of people that it is a normal thing. So I think, sir, first of all, we need to take care of the thing that dowry is not something which should be accepted in society. We need to raise awareness, especially in the lower caste people and also in the upper caste where this dowry system is more prevalent. So secondly, we can think of educating and empowering women themselves so that they also stand up against it. So as of now, I think these two steps can be
So
taken.
any legal backing you have for your?
So there is an act, Dowry Prevention Act.
Okay.
Thank you.
Right. What does your name stand for?
Sir, it is one of the 27 nakshatras that is present. One of is Swati Nakshatra. I was born in that nakshatra, so my mother kept my name Swati Nakshatra.
Right.
Sorry, Swati.
Have you heard of this term gift city? Gift city.
Yes, sir.
What is the full form of gift and how come it was in the news recently?
Sir, sorry, I'm unable to recall the full form, but sir, it is associated with innovation and business coming to one place.
Why was it in the news recently?
So sorry, sir, I have not followed.
Okay. Lateral entry in the context of civil services. What do you understand by that?
So lateral entry in civil services is when people do not have to pass through this examination phase and they're given a rank or a position in the civil services based on their experience in the matters of general interest.
So, what would be the plus points and disadvantages of such a system?
So as far as I can remind myself, so for disadvantages can be there can be a better representation of issues as they're experienced in their field, they can know the issues better. So also there can be a faster delivery of issues, faster implementation of policies. However, sir, disadvantages can be if maybe the link between people and the position might not be that reflected as a generalist might reflect.
What about the morale of those who are already in the civil service and who find their promotion prospects blocked?
So prospects to be blocked, that would be, I think, something extreme. So rather, there can be such issues. So further, I'll read on the topic.
Have you heard of the term donkey flights?
No, sir.
Judicial activism versus my last question, judicial overreach. How would you distinguish between the two? You could give examples of each to make the point clear.
Sir, since our constitution is very forward looking. So judiciary was given a role to bring out the social revolution in society. So judiciary takes steps to make active involvement with the people by using methods such as PI, public interest litigation. So that is judicial activism. But sir, overreach is when judiciary tends to overstep their jurisdiction. That is,
Can you give an example?
sir, of judicial activism, I can think of Vishaka guidelines.
Yes, but of overreach.
So overreach is when
No,
some.
you've given the definition. Give me an example.
So can I have a moment?
Sure.
So, for example, ordering the executive to bring out some policy, which is the work of executive.
Mhm. That's a general, you've given a generic kind of response. An actual instance I'm asking for judicial overreach.
So presently, I cannot.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
What do you know about COP28?
So the Conference of Parties 28. So it was a meeting of parties who are ratified under the Paris Agreement to
What is-
bring down the temperature.
What is the major achievement?
So this COP 28, so I think the loss and damage fund.
Sorry.
Loss and damage fund
Mm-hmm.
for the country. So I think that is the major development this year.
And what is the target of this zero emission?
So net
See-
zero.
Uh,
So globally, I cannot recall of any targets. India has set a target of net zero by 2070.
mm. Okay, okay. What do you know about G20?
So G20 is a group of 20 countries who came together to solve the economic problems after that was formed in 1990 and especially came into limelight after the 2008 Asian financial
What is the
crisis.
basic achievement of India?
So in G20, I think so hosting the G20 presidency in 2023, that was the achievement where consensus-based policy making was done on Russia-Ukraine, where peaceful resolution of conflicts was taken into account with the New Delhi Declaration.
Mm. Okay, okay, okay. And I mean, have you heard about Hindenburg report?
Sir, I've heard about it,
Mm.
but I have limited knowledge in that aspect.
Okay, okay, okay. Any judgment have this delivered by the Supreme Court regarding this Hindenburg? Are
Sir,
you aware?
no, sir, I cannot recall. Sorry. Sir, as far as I can recall, sir, SEBI judgments are being passed, I think, on the report. Further, I cannot recall, sorry.
Okay, 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 okay.
Okay, your family hails from East
Single,
Single
yes, sir.
East and West. What was the reason that they had to create two separate districts, East and West Singham?
So earlier there was a single Singham district. So due to administrative reason, it was divided into East and West Singham.
Is there an optimal geographical or population size for a district for, as you said, administration to be effective?
So I think it was too big to handle because in the West Singham, it is generally seen to be tribal and Naxal dominated area. In the East Singham, there is a predominance of non-tribals. So maybe that was one of the reason to divide the district for
Okay.
better representation of institution.
You said your optional was PSIR?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Tell me something about offensive and defensive realism.
Sir, offensive and defensive realism are the two kinds of realism, so to say. So, in defensive realism, it is that we should acquire as much power as it is necessary to defend ourselves. So, it was given by Stephen Walls. So, the offensive realism was given by Mearsheimer, who said that no amount of power is ever enough. Hence, we should acquire as much power as we can.
What is multipolarism, multilateralism, and minilateralism, and plurilateralism?
So multipolarism is when there is no one center of power. Sir, multipolarism answer.
Multilateralism, minilateralism, plural.
So multilateralism is when we engage ourselves with the multiple countries.
You also engage in multipolarism.
So, but polarism is when we have, for example, during the Cold War, it was said it was a bipolar world order. When there were
One is power driven, other is norm driven. Now tell me minilateralism and plurilateralism.
so minilateralism is formation of small groups into small countries coming into groups for
Small countries, there's small island states,
small group of countries coming together.
small group of countries. Read up, and plurilateralism, particularly your foreign minister has popularized it. So read up what is plurilateralism. You also have received commendation for something called Amog
Yes.
Aaj Tak
News.
news reading.
Yes.
News is now views on television. This is hardly news. It's all views. An anchor has his or her own views on everything in discussion. Should the anchor have views in a televised discussion?
Sir, it would not be totally, I think, in my opinion, to say that news is only views, because sir, there are some new channels who are giving
100
out-
rapid news.
sorry, sir.
100 rapid news that some channels are giving.
So, but some channels are there who are giving the right information to the people. So, the view.
Which one? Aaj Tak?
No, sir.
Anyway, this is a very subjective area, but should anchor have view in every topic under discussion every evening?
So, our personal views should differ from what we portray in public, in my opinion. It should be like that. So whatever news that we convey to people, it should not be based on our biased judgments. It should be in the public interest. of the
Political parties have stayed exempt from right to information. They don't come in that purview. Is that fair or unfair?
So, as far as my knowledge is concerned, so it would be fair if the activities of political parties are given. But so there are, I think, some areas where the interests of parties should not be open to public. So there should be a balanced, open and transparency to people.
Sometimes governors, bungalows, which are mostly imperial buildings inherited, are called old man's, sick man's home kind of thing. Why that kind of imagination has come about?
Sir, as I have not heard about this much, but sir, in my opinion, if that is so, I think maybe because people, the central appoints the experienced men to their offices, maybe that could be one of the reasons.
Should Hindi be promoted as one of the language at United Nations? You had a discussion on Hindi before.
So Hindi as a language can be promoted at United Nations because so there are other languages like French and other which are being used. So, I think
So
that-
then if your prime minister is Tamilian, he won't know the national language to speak at United Nations.
Sir, representing a language and knowing a language, I think so that are two different things.
Good. My final question to you now is what you think you would like to contribute if you become a civil servant? Or is there a passion or some idea that your going will make a difference?
Sir, as I have mentioned, I am from the army background. I have been really privileged to live in that kind of environment. So, but when I entered into the civilian environment, especially in such a state, such as situation in which Jharkhand is today, so I would literally like.
Have you heard something about the book called 4-Star Destiny?
Yes, sir, I've heard about it.
What is it?
So it is written by our retired chief of army staff, which is yet to, I think, be published.
Why is it in news?
Sir, in my knowledge, it was regarding some controversy related to.
Tell me the 5 ranks from top to descending order from top
So
to
from top to bottom.
Indian Army.
So it is general, then it is lieutenant general, then major general, brigadier, lieutenant colonel, and lieutenant colonel.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So, Swati, that brings us to the end of our formal interview.
Thank you, sir.
We'll be giving you feedback. But prior to that, your self evaluation, how do you think you fared?
Sir, I sometimes fail to articulate my thoughts into words, sir, I think. So I've given 2 mock before this. Sir, in those also I faced this in the situation. Sometimes also sir, I think maybe I have less knowledge in some topics and I tend to overstate. Maybe this is my evaluation, sir.
Please.
You were very nervous when you went it, and it showed. और जो आपसे सवाल पूछे थे, one nation, one language, a little more elaboration would have probably done the trick. You were very, very precise. You pointed to the problem, but never tried to explain that.
Okay.
So get a little more knowledge of this, and best out of waste, your answer was generic. I wanted a specific thing that you may have done. ठीक है?
So, Swati, you have a lot going for you. You have a pleasant personality. You are articulate. But you see, one of the key features of a civil servant is awareness of what's happening around him and in the world. That you need to just, over the last month, what has been happening, you just need to catch up with that. Because I found that there were many areas where you were unaware. And these are things which are coming out in the papers on a daily basis. So to not know about them would mean that you are little careless on this point. For instance, donkey flights.
Sir, I've really not heard about it.
Then I asked you about Gift City, right? Gujarat International Financial Tech City, and it's in the news because they've permitted liquor to be sold there.
Okay.
Okay. Judicial overreach. Judiciary passed so many orders. One was with regard to the placement of liquor shops next to the highways. This is not something which they have to talk about. This is overreach. This is encroaching on the legislature's area, right? Or when they said that everyone has to stand for the national anthem, this is judicial overreach.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so not to worry. You have, you have to, when you go there, it's not a test of knowledge, please understand. It's a test of your personality. So go there with an uncluttered mind. Do your best. And if you don't know something, don't guess. Huh? Just say it out that I'll need to read out.
Let me just say one thing to you.
Yes, sir.
No candidate will be able to answer 100% questions. Brush up your knowledge. What you can definitely do is you look very withdrawn, as if you are in some not a happy situation here, as it's a punishment that you're sitting here. Don't engage the board here and be a little smiling and happy and energetic. That you definitely can do.
Sir,
करंट तो जहाँ पिछले 1-2 महीने के, isn't?
yes, sir.
थोड़ा सा jot down कर लो, and so that you should be aware about what is going on.
So this nervousness, so अंदर से तो मुझे उतनी फील नहीं हो रही, but I don't know मेरे
आपके फेस में ऐसे टेंशन, नॉट हैप्पी सिचुएशन,
See, कुछ लोगों का face ही ऐसा होता
नहीं
है.
नहीं ऐसा
ऐसा नहीं है.
देखिए now she smile. See, when you smile it changes. Your answer, for example, to my question about language to be taken to United Nations was very good, very safe answer. Representation of language, representation of nation are two different things.
Yes, sir.
So it's a very good.
Being confident, smile.
Instead of an interview, it looked more like an interrogation was taking place.
Yes.
Yes.
Best of luck, you'll do very well. Go there with an absolutely, with a lot of self-confidence.
Okay, best wishes.
Hey.